What's up, y'all? Chanel here with K9 Dog Training, and I am starting my series that I originally wanted to do on TikTok, but I think it fits YouTube a little bit better, called the Buy or Buy series. And this is where I'm going to review anything from dog training gear to treats to cleaning products and anything else in the dog world to give you my honest opinion on it and tell you if I think it's something that you should buy, if it's worth your money, or if it's something that you just shouldn't waste your time on and you can just pass it on the store and say bye. So first up in this series, I'm going to do the Tug toys from Viper K9. Now, for me personally, I want toys to be a tool that allow me and my dog or me and my clients' dogs to interact together. So I don't give them 24/7 access to have these for a couple of reasons. One, there is no such thing as an indestructible toy. Do not believe any of the marketing that you read out there that says our toy is indestructible or chew-proof, because they just don't exist. I hate to break it to you, but if you leave a dog unsupervised with any toy of any material, they're going to chew on it and they're gonna tear it apart eventually. And I personally don't want to waste my money on buying new toys every time that my dog destroys them, so I just like to prevent the problem from happening in the first place and keep these out of their reach when I'm not working with them. And not only that, this is filled with some sort of fluff material. I don't know if it's cotton or what, but if my dogs tear into this, then that's going to be strewn across my yard, and it's just a pain in the ass for me to clean up, and I don't want to do that either. The second reason that I don't want my dogs to have these without me around is because I don't want them to be obsessed with the toy themselves. I want them to be obsessed with the game that we play together, the game that involves me in that interaction. So when we're not playing, I keep my Tug toys put up out of reach, and I bring them out still on a daily basis, but I kind of save them for those special occasions that we can have together, because I want to use this in training as much as I can, and I want them to be a special thing. If they can chew on them by themselves, they'll learn very quickly, oh, I can just bring this over into the corner and I don't need you for this to be fun. And that's just kind of something that I want to avoid. I want the toy to be a tool that allows them to play with me, not by themselves. If I want them to have something that they can chew on and kind of keep themselves occupied for a while, I'll give them an antler or something that's actually going to last them. So some of y'all may have never actually seen one of these before. This is what we refer to as a Tug toy. Now, you see these a lot in the working dog world or the sport world. People who are training their dogs to compete, those are generally dogs that have a lot higher drive naturally, and they just genetically, not all of the time, but majority of the time, prefer to be rewarded with a toy or with a game instead of food, which is kind of what we see a lot in the pet dog world. But I have some clients with breed doesn't even matter, but their dog just prefers to be rewarded with a toy. So I like having the option of using both depending on what it is that I'm working on. So this specific Tug, which again is from the brand, come into focus, Viper K9. This is made out of a material called French linen, which is usually what you see the big bite suits made out of. It's a very durable, tear-resistant material, and I have a couple different options here, but I've had these for probably going on 2 years now, and they don't have any holes in them. Now, there's a couple of spots where the threads are a little bit torn or pulled a little, but it's not a full-blown hole. If it'll focus for you, it's not a full-blown hole. So it's a very high quality material, and as long as you use them properly, they're gonna last you a very long time. Sorry, my light was changing on me. I had to open a window. So if you haven't really figured it out yet, a Tug is used to play tug with your dog. I know a lot of people will typically use a rope of some sort to play tug of war with their dog, which is fine. It's not right or wrong, but I like to teach dogs something called targeting, which means that I only want them to bite this specific area of the Tug toy. And with a rope that is generally, they're a little bit longer. Some of them average like 2 feet long. If it's made of the same material throughout the entire thing, it's harder to teach your dog how to target one specific area because they don't know the difference between biting the center versus biting the knot that's closer to your hand. So if that's kind of an issue that you struggle with or something that you want to teach your dog, getting a tug toy will help you out tremendously. The Viper K9 Tugs themselves come in 3 different sizes. There is an 8-inch, a 12-inch, and then a 16-inch. And then they also have a bite pillow, which I will talk about as well. They do come in a variety of colors if that's something that is important to you. And they are a really good price point. The 8-inch one is $15. The 12-inch is $20. The 16-inch, which I don't have, is $24. And then the bite pillow is $42. Now, all of these, every single model that you get, are sewn together with a very, very heavy duty stitching. So not the fabric, the material itself, but the actual stitching that is constructing this toy and keeping it held together is very strong and durable. Oh, we had a guest pop up. Very heavy duty, and none of those threads are pulled or damaged whatsoever, so very high quality toys just all around. They do, with the exception of this one, the handle, it has a rubber material woven throughout the handle, so it gives you a really good grip. You don't have to worry about getting rope burn or anything like that. It's a blank rubber. It's not covered in any sort of a fiber or material that's going to make it soft. So it feels very good, very comfortable, and your grip feels very secure in it. And then depending on which toy you get, you do have the option. Again, this one doesn't have any handles, and I'll get into why, but you do have the option of getting a toy with 2 handles or just 1 handle, depending on the size that you prefer. Now, like I said, the handles didn't make it on this one because I work with a lot of dogs, a lot of client dogs that are not good at targeting. They tend to go for the end, or they might hit the middle and then corn cob their way down and realize that getting a grip on the handle is a lot easier than this. So these are dead and gone on this bad boy. They're off to a better place, but the benefit to that is now I don't have dogs trying to target the handles anymore. And also, even though those handles aren't there, this is still a pretty decent size. It's 12 inches long, so I can still comfortably put one hand on either side, and as long as my dog is fairly familiar with targeting, even if it is a large dog, they have a large mouth, my hands should still be clear of the area that they're gonna bite. So I shouldn't get teeth knocking on my skin. My hands are over onto the sides and they're protected, and this grip that I have is very secure even without those handles. So sometimes I recommend my clients just cut the handles off once they get it so that they don't have to deal with that. But then there's also some dogs that just don't care about the handles. They want the meatier part, and that allows my clients to get a good grip on it. The 12-inch model that I have here, I love this for medium to large dogs. It has a really nice thickness to it that they can get a good grip on. They can really sink their teeth into it and get into our game. Now, if you have a small dog or a puppy, the 8-inch is what I usually recommend for those breeds because it's thinner so they can fit it in their mouth. And if that's an issue you have with your dog, if they just don't seem to be interested in tug, it might be that the toy you're using is just a little bit too thick for them, and so they can't get a good grip on it, which can be discouraging for their drive if they feel like it's just they don't have a good fair advantage in the game just because they physically can't hold on to it. So switching to something like this might help your game out quite a bit. Then finally, we've got my trusty dusty bite pillow. Now this is great for extra large dogs, or even if you've just got a large dog but is very, very drivey, this could be a really good option for you. So this actually, it's obviously much bigger. I don't know the dimensions off the top of my head, but this has 3 handles. So really good for presentation. You can comfortably hold it off to the side. But then once my dog gets a good grip on it, I find myself switching from these two to grabbing this handle in the back and then turning and trying to walk the other way, or just really trying to yank it out of their mouth. And that just seems to be the most comfortable for me. This would probably not be ideal if you have a small dog. I had a Frenchie who was determined as hell to try to bite this thing, but her little mouth was just not big enough to fit over it. So try as she might, it just wasn't a good fit for her. But regardless of size, the quality in all three of these is there for all of them. So no matter what kind of dog you have, you will benefit from these, and you don't have to be in the working dog world. You don't have to be preparing for a sport or competition with your dog to see the advantages of using these. I, for the moment, only really train pets, owners and their pets, and everything from bully breeds to doodles, and even a young pug that surprisingly had a really high play drive, have loved playing tug with these. Even the pets out there, they can benefit from these, and I think a lot of owners will just play as a way to wear their dog out. They don't really have any rhyme or reason to it. But once you start teaching the rules of the game and you set an objective to your game, that game becomes training itself. So it's not only a learning opportunity, but it's also fun for the dog. So it's a double whammy. Overall, you can probably guess that my answer for the Viper K9 Tugs is that they are a buy! Yes! I recommend these to almost every client that I work with because I will typically bring at least one with me, and almost immediately their dog is showing interest in it and they want to bite it. And because I want my clients to have the best equipment and I know how valuable tug and play is for our training, I want them to be prepared so that they can be set up for success in the long run. And I usually just end up sending those clients a link to Amazon to buy these themselves, so I'll drop that down in the description box for anybody who might be interested. If you are a dog trainer or a dog business owner of some sort with a shop, you can get these from Dogline at a wholesale price. So I'll leave that link in the description for those of y'all that might apply to as well. So this has been super fun. I'm glad I finally got around to filming this. I have a lot of other dog gear and products in mind for this series that I want to do videos on. I just need to film them. And they're mostly going to be products that I already own or have purchased throughout the years, and I can give you my honest opinion on whether I still use them or not, if I would recommend them for you. But if there's anything out there that you're curious about, that maybe you've seen on social media is super popular and you're wondering, is it really worth the money? Does it live up to the hype? Leave those suggestions in the comments for me, and maybe I'll go out and purchase it and give you my review on that. And I'll try to, I incorporated some clips into this of me using these tug toys. I also want to kind of put this stuff to the test and actually show you, does it function the way that it should, or does it live up to the hype and perform the way that it's supposed to? If you've enjoyed this video, show your love, give it a thumbs up. I hope you all start playing tug with your dog because it's the greatest thing ever. And if you want to stay tuned for the future Buy videos or any other videos that I put out, hit that subscribe button. I don't know where it is, but find where it is, hit subscribe, and join the gang. And I will talk to y'all later.